Hello, thank you for joining me today again on the Church History Trail, and we're continuing in Lisburn, and where we are is actually Castle Gardens. And the name is a bit of a giveaway because this is where the old castle, Lisburn Castle, used to stand, and it's a park now and it's open to the public. You can see there the church, the parish church, and I done a wee video there earlier, and you can also see the market house, and I hope to do a wee video at the market house, which is now the Linen Museum. And so this is Castle Gardens, and you get a good review here of Lisburn, as you can see. And the bridge is there actually where the traffic are crossing over, where that white van is there. In this side of the bridge you're in County Antrim, but if you cross that bridge, that there part there is actually County Down. So the counties actually, there's actually two counties in Lisburn. This side is County Antrim, but the other side is actually County Down. So there you are. Now the castle was built or rebuilt actually in 1610 by Sir Conway. It's believed that there was originally here on an O'Neill fort in the 9th or the 10th century, and so Lord Conway rebuilt the castle here in 1610. And the castle was really a manor house, and you got a lot of manor houses which were actually called castles in those days, and so it was really a manor house. And the manor house was destroyed by the Great Fire in 1707, and actually all that remains is the 1677 gateway, and I will show you that. And there's a cannon, and I think if I remember rightly that's to the Crimean War, but that's a cannon. Thankfully it's plugged up so it'll not be going off, so don't be worrying. This gun taken at the, what is that, Sir Abbas Pole or something, was presented to the town of Lisburn by, was 1858, by the Admiralty. So it doesn't actually say where that gun actually was used. I thought it was Crimea, but it might not be. And there you can see the fountain, and if I remember rightly, that fountain it was actually given to Castle Gardens, if I remember rightly, by Sir Richard Wallace, and that's his house there, and I'll do a wee quick talk on that shortly. But here's another monument here, and I'll show you this monument. I think this is to the war, First and Second World War, but we'll soon find out. If I can read it, that is. I'm not sure if I'll be able to. I can't make it out at all, but I would assume it's to the First and Second World War. What does that say up the top there? No, it's actually 1892, so it might not be. I'm not sure what that actually is for, that monument. Could be to one of the earlier wars. It's 1892 anyway, it says on that. So there you are. And there's nothing on that side. But the Williamite troops were actually camped here in this area in the winter of 1689 and 1690, and General Schomberg had his headquarters actually here in Lisburn, and he actually stayed in number 13 Castle Street, and I hope to do a wee video on that. Now, as I say, the gardens of the castle, they're open to the public, and they're called Castle Gardens because of the castle that obviously that used to be in this site. And I'll just show you one of the bastions here. As you can see, So you're a brave wee height up here. Some of this is closed up today, so again the wall's very substantial here, as you can see, and you get a good view. And I'm going to take you now and show you the gate, because this is really the only part that's left from the time. And this gate actually dates back to 1677. And I'll show you the gate down here. That's the house there. And I'll talk a wee bit about the house shortly. So this is the gate, and as I say, this gate's all that's left of the castle, and it dates to 1677. So it's still good to have this. At least we still have a part of the original castle. And the gate's open, so we'll be able to go through it. And so this is the gateway here. Fantastic that we still have this, isn't it? You can see actually the engraving there, 1677 on that. As you can see. So pretty amazing. And you get a good wee look at the walls here as well then. I'll show you them. So there you are. And that part there is 1891, so that's newer. I'll zoom up and let you see it. That's 1891. I think it's 18, yeah it is, 1891. So there you are. And I'll show you a wee bit of the walls. So it's great to have that gateway, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. As you can see, Lisburn's very busy, and of course Lisburn's not just a town now, but a city. And that building over there, that's actually the council offices for Lisburn and Castle.The. It's a Lagan Valley island, because it's actually on an island, and the river there is actually the Lagan. And so that's the bastion that we were on. As you can see. And just down there where that car park is, there used to be houses, if you can see. There used to actually be houses there, just where that car park is, and a famous soldier lived there who went to America, and that was Sinclair Mulholland, and he fought in the American Civil War, but he also became the chief of police of, I think it was Philadelphia, if I remember rightly, and I hope to do a wee video on Sinclair, Mulholland. And three of his ancestors, who would have been his, I suppose, his great uncles, during the 1798 rebellion, one fought for the government forces, the other one fought for the United Irishmen, and the third one, he didn't fight for any. And so they were known as the good, the bad, and the indifferent. And so I hope to do a wee video on Sinclair, and I'll hope to mention those three great uncles. I think it was great uncles, but they were certainly his uncles. And so I hope to do a wee video on that. But I'll take you up now and I'll give you a wee view of the gate again here, and then we'll go through the gate and I'll take you up and I'll show you the house. Now, this isn't the castle. This isn't the castle or the Manor House. That was built in 1610. But this is actually the house that was built by Sir Richard Wallace. And so I'll take you, I'll let you see the gate again, and then I'll take you up and I'll show you that. As you can see, and there you are. And of course the Williamites were encamped here. Now, across the street here, this house is Castle House, and it was begun in 1880, so it's 19th century, and it was actually begun by Sir Richard Wallace, who was the MP for Lisburn, and he was born on the 21st of June 1818, and he died on the 20th of July 1890. And quite a substantial building that as well, even though it is from the 19th century. And if I remember rightly, I think it's actually used by the Technical College today. And so I'll let you see that. One of these fountains, I'm not sure which one it was. It might be the blue one there in the distance. But as I said earlier, one of these was actually donated by Sir Richard Wallace. I think it might have been the fountain, the blue fountain actually. I must check that out when we're walking by that way. I don't think it was this one. There you go. That's that one anyway, but that's the house. So it is. That's the house of Sir Richard Wallace. And I'll take you across and show you. You can see there's a blue plaque there. And I'll take you across the road and show you the blue plaque. That there is actually the war memorial there. So it is. So I think that one there is to the Crimean War or something like that, if I remember rightly. And I think that cannon might be from the Crimean War as well, as I said earlier, but I'm not, don't quote me on those because I'm not too sure, to be honest. I think I vaguely remember. And I vaguely remember reading about this fountain being presented by Sir Richard Wallace, if I remember rightly. And I don't think they're swans, I think they're storks or something like that on that. But there's no water really in it today, so there's not. And there's a wee board up here, might tell us actually, but I think that's the Richard Wallace one, if I remember rightly. But we'll have a wee look at this board and we'll see. Right, let's see what we've got here. It's actually not going to tell us. It is. There's the Wallace drinking fountain, which is WD. Yes, that's that one there in the middle, as you can see. So that was the one that Richard Wallace gave to Lisburn. And of course he helped, that bridge that I showed you earlier, that's called Union Bridge, because it connects the County Down with County Antrim. And William Wallace actually helped to pay for get that actually built. So he did. And so that's a wee plan. Also you've got the Castle Gardens, Lisburn. Welcome to Castle Gardens, Lisburn. And gives you a wee bit of history. It might actually tell us here what those monuments are. That's the Wallace Memorial, that's what that was. This Gothic memorial, designed by Robinson and Co. Belfast, was erected by public subscription in 1892 to honour Sir Richard Wallace. So that's why. Considered a caring landlord, Wallace gave generously to local causes and endowed the town with a number of public buildings, including the courthouse, Castle House, opposite Castle Gardens, and the People's Park, renamed Wallace Park after his death. Nearby at Lisburn Cathedral are 2 stained glass windows dedicated to his memory. So that's who that memorial there is for then. It's for Richard Wallace. Now here's this gun that I wasn't sure where it came from. It was actually captured at the Battle of Sebastopol during the Crimean War. I was right, it was the Crimean War. I thought it was 1853 to 1856. And this cannon was presented to the people of the town in 1858 by Admiral Henry Neil, 1789 to 1865, Royal Navy, who served as MP for Lisburn 1826 to 1847. So there you are. And it says there, musket loops. These defensive structures allowed soldiers to safely fire upon attackers. In 1641, the Catholic Irish of Ulster, keen to secure religious freedom, rebelled. Protestant settlers were massacred, and Lisnagarvey, Lisburn, was attacked and burnt. Lord Conway's men killed hundreds of rebels on Bridge Street and High Street, which is now Castle Street, and that's Castle Street there. And I talked about a wee bit about that, the 1641 rebellion, when I talked about the cathedral, if you remember. So you can check that video out. And then that's the 17th century gardens. In the mid 17th century, Lord Conway, inspired by his travels on the continent, formally let out the gardens surrounding Lisburn Castle. So there you are. And that's all the wee monuments then in Lisburn itself. And I hope to do one on this man here, Nicholson, General Nicholson. Done a wee talk on him in Dungannon at the Royal School. There's a memorial to him, and I hope to do one, because there's one here in Lisburn of him, and so I hope to do that. So I'll take you across and let you see this house, and then that's us finished. I'll show you the memorial, the war memorial on the way. And I'm going to do another wee video. I'll not talk about it in this one, but that actually house there with the blue plaque, that was actually the Huguenot Church, and I hope to do a wee talk on the Huguenot Church, but it'll not be today. So watch out for that one. And again, that's the monument, the war memorial, as you can see. And then that's the house that Richard Wallace built. So pretty amazing. And we still have it today. It's a pity it's not opened as a museum or something. But then I suppose you can't open everything. You'll have to open the church down there that I showed you a minute ago as well. But I'll show you the wee plaque here. Best I can anyway with this railing. You can see that. That's Sir Richard Wallace, and he was the MP. 1818, 1890. He was born in 1818 and he died in 1890. And he established then this house. And so thank you for joining me today again on the church history trail. And again, if you enjoy the channel, please like and subscribe. And just before we finish, I'm going to cross back over and give you an hour review of the house, and then that's us done for this wee video anyway today. This has been a lengthy video, but I hope you've enjoyed it. So that's the house. Just one more thing I'll mention. If you're wondering what that tower is there, well, that's actually the training for the firemen. That's the head fire headquarters there you're looking at. So that tower there is actually for their training for the firemen. And so thank you for joining me today again, and God bless.